This is the Mrs. Mills piano, probably one of the most famous pianos here at Abbey Road Studios, and it's probably been here the longest time actually. It's been here since the studios opened. The piano's from 1905, and it's been used on some pretty famous recordings, including by the Beatles themselves. So the name Mrs. Mills was a sort of hand-me-down from an artist who used to use it quite a lot called Gladys Mills. She recorded a lot of albums in here in Studio 2. Her thing was kind of old school, classic party pub style sing-along tunes, you know. Just through the staff at Abbey Road at the time, they just called it Mrs. Mills piano, and that's kind of stuck. So part of the first generation of pop engineers here was a guy called Stuart Eltham. He wanted to sort of change the sound of the piano. So he sent it to Steinway's, and one of the engineers there hardened the hammers with a lacquer so you get more of a percussive metallic sound. And he also wanted the piano to be slightly detuned, but in a sort of harmonic way to get that nice sort of chorusy sound. So the Beatles, particularly by the mid-60s, they were getting more and more creative in the way they were recording and the instruments they were using, and they're always striving for new sounds. Mrs. Mills's piano and also the Challen pianos, these were just like instruments that were sort of lying around, so they just got used. Most famously on the songs Penny Lane and A Little Help From My Friends, you can really hear it quite prominently. There's kind of an argument as to whether it was or wasn't the Lady Madonna piano. Most people seem to think the Lady Madonna piano sound was actually a Steinway with just sort of lots of EQ and compression. Paul McCartney himself has been said to say this is the Lady Madonna piano, so, you know, who knows. Studio 2 is a really interesting room, and it's just got a lovely warm sound to it. It's not too bright, it's not too reverberant, it's just like a really nice warm sounding room. It's a nice room to perform in. I mean, I've seen everything recorded in here from like solo piano right through to small orchestras and everything in between. Bands sort of more recently, as it were, who've used this room have been like Muse, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, Noel Gallagher, George Ezra, 1975, Adele, Kanye West has used this room. So it's still like a really popular room, like people want to, you know, come and try out Studio 2 for themselves. So when we sampled the piano, we used the Red Desk, the AKG D19 microphone, so these classic recording chains from the 60s. But we also obviously use modern microphones and modern recording techniques as well, and sort of blended the two together to get a nice sort of overall representation of the piano, and things like room microphones, obviously, because we're in this glorious sounding room. It's really amazing that this piano is available to everyone now as part of the Spitfire Originals line. £29, you've got this amazing historic piano that's been used in a lot of these famous recordings, and it still gets used at Abbey Road a lot to this day. This is one of those instruments that's got lots of character, and when you say to people what it's been used on, they want to use it too, so the legacy continues.